actually did practice. That is so powerful. And it shows just how amazing and powerful our imaginations can be. Another example comes from someone I met at a local Toastmasters meeting. It was my first Toastmasters meeting I had ever attended, and this particular person got up and told his motivational story of overcoming a cancerous brain tumor simply by using the power of his imagination. He was diagnosed with this horrible disease in the prime of his career. Little did he know it would eventually put him into a state where he became a paraplegic, unable to move his limbs and unable to speak. It was during this time that he began to harness the power of his imagination, since that was the one thing he could still do. He imagined himself working out in a room, moving and active, accomplishing things he was once able to do prior to the cancer, if not even greater things. He pictured himself walking, lifting weights, and more. Though the doctors initially told him he had a very slim chance of ever walking again, the power of his imagination proved the doctors wrong. He religiously would imagine those scenes of this miraculous recovery, and sure enough, that miraculous recovery eventually happened. The doctors were dumbfounded and amazed at his improvements, and mostly without the assistance of medications that were suggested. He essentially was deemed a vegetable, left for dead, yet he had other plans for himself. And it was his plans that came to fruition in order to get him moving again. He first took a couple of steps, then more, until he is now functioning at 100%. If you look at him today, as I did, you would never have any idea that this man was ever on his deathbed and deemed a vegetable. He attributes this incredible recovery and turnaround to the power of his imagination. He told himself he would never give up, and he was correct. Now, if that isn't a powerful example of what the imagination can do and create for you, y'all, I don't know what is. The imagination is essentially what is the driving force behind such techniques as hypnosis. Think about it. When you've seen the displays of hypnosis via stage show, what usually happens? The hypnotist tells the person that they are someone they're not, that they will see someone next to them as an animal, or have a desire to drink massive amounts of water when someone says a trigger word for them. All of that is simply tapping into the power of one's imagination. If you can think it, you can do and or be it. Hypnosis in a therapeutic manner simply has you imagine where you would like to be in life, and it then brings you there. Imagine it fully in the present. I mean, if we can imagine situations happening in the future that make us nervous or anxious, such as preparing to talk in front of a large audience, why can't we imagine situations in which we're empowered and unbreakable? Makes sense, right? So hypnosis does exactly that. It allows you to tap into your creative process, to harness that creative energy in a way that works for rather than against you. You've been using your imagination to work against you in a way that isn't helpful for anyone. And it is time to let that old way of thinking go and invite a new and uplifting one in. Consider this. Depression is about what has happened in the past, while anxiety is more about what will happen in the future. Think about a situation that occurred in the past that creates a sense of sadness, anger, regret, or guilt. I bet you were able to do that quite easily. Is that situation happening now in this present moment as you read these words or hear them? No. Well, then congratulations. You just used the power of your imagination. Now think about a situation in the future that causes worry or fear or discomfort. How quickly did that scenario come up for you? Pretty quickly, huh? Well, that is nothing more than that nasty old imagination rearing its ugly head for you almost automatically and with not much control or say-so from you. Now, imagine a scenario where you feel empowered, energized, enthusiastic, effective, and or organized. I'll give you a moment. Were you able to come up with something? Excellent. You just exercised that muscle in the mind that leads to profound changes in your subconscious. And that, my friends, is what hypnosis helps you do. Harness the power of your subconscious, which is approximately 90% of your thinking and doing, while bypassing the critical faculties of your consciousness. Thank you to Jason Linett. which is only 10% of your thinking. I mean, what would you rather place more faith in? Someone who's able to accomplish 90% of a task that you give them, or someone who can only accomplish 10% of a task you ask of them? I don't know about you, but I'd definitely go with the person who completes 90% of the task. Though truth be told, I'd prefer them to complete it 100%. So there you have it, y'all. Creativity is key in leading to movement, progress in the right direction in order to become unstuck. Do so with a beginner's mind, opening your thinking up to a world of possibilities you never even knew were possible or could exist. Try to get outside of that box you've been thinking within. Your mind and the world are much bigger and greater than that. So get to exploring. There you have it, y'all. The C of the action plan. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, I will see you all in the next episode. Peace, love, and light. This is Dr. Damon Silas signing off. Bye. From Mourning to Action, Powerfully Working Through Loss is a podcast based on Dr. Damon Silas's 2 books. The first is From Mourning to Night, Overcoming Loss, and the second one is What's Your Action Plan? 6 powerful ways to get unstuck in your life now. Be sure to check those 2 books out on the website www.damonsilaspsychology.com/store. You can also go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or wherever you can find any books and check that book out there. Furthermore, if you like what you hear, feel free to leave a review, and I'm always looking for guests. So please feel free to send an email to damon@tippingpointwellnessllc.com. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Peace, love, and light, y'all.